So that as I said last night, the situation in Iraq has got much to cause worries for us all and anxiety, and we still do not know about the whereabouts and situation of our Mujtahid Ayatollah al-Azama Abu Qasim al-Khoi, Hafidhahullah. Rumors say that he is in Baghdad. Some say that he has been returned to Najaf, but we do not have any concern. We pray that Allah may keep him safe, together with his family and all the ulama who are under apprehension for the time. In the meantime, as you must have seen and heard and read, certain parts of Iraq have been retaken by the forces of Saddam, and therefore it is causing anxiety, but inshallah ta'ala we hope that the victory finally is of Islam. In the meantime, Ayatollah Khamenei has already ordered certain Iranian troops on alert on the border dividing Iran and Iraq. The allied forces within Iraq are there, and under their very nose the Muslims are being massacred day and night. And what Quran Majid has said stands totally vivid and correct even today, that you cannot expect, O mu'mineen, O believers, you cannot expect any friendship, any sympathy from those who have no belief in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Be very careful therefore in extending the hand of friendship to those who have no soft corner and no sympathy for you. They would rather have you massacred. And I said it earlier, that the enmity is with Islam. The rest of all is just to show the world. And there has been a pre-planned order, the order which will not allow Islamic resurgence and revival to form an Islamic bloc spreading from Iran over to Iraq. This is what the world of Kufr does not like to see, and we are being victimized because of that. That is the reason why we pray every day. And I think this dua of iftitah, which you have read and all of us have read, was taught by Imam al-Zaman, Ajjalallahu Faraja Salamu alayhi, which ends, as we know, says, Allahumma inna nashku ilayka faqda nabiyyina salawatuka alayhi wa alihi wa ghaybata waliyina wa kathrata aduwina wa qillata adadina wa shiddata al-fitani bina wa tadahur al-zamani alayhi. Oh Allah, the only complaint we have is that the Prophet is not among us, and our wali and imam at the moment is in concealment. The whole world is against us. We are few in number, and the demonstration against us is overwhelmingly more and is on the increase. This was the dua that has been taught by Imam al-Islam, perhaps for these days in which we are living. But anyway, dua is one of the things. In Dua Kumail, the last line is, O God, forgive him who has nothing. La yamliku illa raja. He doesn't have anything in possession but hope. Wasilahuhul buka. And the weapon that he has is to weep and beseech and implore. Ya Allah, come to the rescue of Ummah. That is the dua that we have got to be together with much of activity that is required of us, which we shall be discussing in the nights to come. In any way, in response to the appeal that was made, I have told you that the first sum that I received was 3,300 pounds, which has been remitted, Until today I have received further 6,800 pounds, which has also been arranged to be remitted. But still, Mu'mineen have all not contributed, and there cannot be any imagination, safe and fair estimate of the requirement that is needed for helping those Mu'mineen who are fighting ceaselessly and who are either wounded or require food. And even those places which have been devastated by war are places where there is not a morsel of food available for the population. So whatever we give is inshallah ta'ala inda Allahi maqbool, Allah will accept. Before I go to the Masail, I have been requested to also tell Mu'mineen to return the forms of power gen shares which they had filled, and now it is required, if the allocation has been made to them, to return the forms duly signed, because that money which will be inshallah accrued from these forms will go to pay off the debt of this Imam Bar. Mu'mineen, therefore, I know that in Rosa we do become a bit lazy, but shun some laziness and let us work. Just 2 signatures and return to Jamaat, inshallah ta'ala. About the Masail of Rosa, we have come to a stage where there are certain things which have got to be explained.
और शहंशाह कायनात इमाम ज़माना बावाज़े बुलंद सलवात।
We were discussing about traveling during Mah Mubarak Ramadan. It must be clear now that according to Ayatullah Al-Khoy, the order for a large city, a big city, and a small one is the same as far as Qasr or Safar is concerned. A city as big as London, or a Tehran or Karachi or Bombay, has the same order as any small town as far as Safar is concerned, and therefore those who work within London, as long as they are within London, it may be even traveling and commuting up to 25 or 28 or 29, 30 miles, as long as they are within London, according to Ayatullah Al-Khoy, they are not travelers. So therefore many Mu'mineen have asked that early in the morning as they rise, they have got to go for work, say about 20 miles away, but within London. If it is within London, then of course they are not musafir, they are not travelers, they will fast and there will be no namaz-e-qasr for them, according to Ayatullah Al-Khoy. Those who in taqleed of Ayatullah Khomeini, rahmatullah alayh, if they are still in continuous taqleed of him, must refer to his risala, because he had given a fatwa that Safar will begin from home when the distance is more than 14 miles one way, even within the city, provided the city is big. But as far as Ayatullah Khomeini is concerned, the city, big or small, is no difference. Those salesmen who have to travel out of London, if it is as frequent as daily, then they are not travelers, they will fast. But those who go once a week, or sometimes twice in a fortnight, or twice in a month, or maybe even more, 4 or 5 times in a month, they will break the fast if they go beyond the Hadd Tarakhus, and if they don't live there for 10 days or more, and if they leave London, the hometown, whatever which your town be, before Dhuhr. After Dhuhr, there is no question. Those students who live here, they are not living in a watan. They must remember this. Students who come from abroad to study, say in London, in Sheffield, or Suffolk, or New York, or anywhere they go. They are there, although they may live there for 1 year, 2 years, even 5 years for study, but they are not mutawattin, they are not in watan. They must remember this. So what will happen? As long as they are there studying and living, of course, they are praying full. But if they are traveling, say, to a place and come back temporarily for a day or two and then traveling again, if they are not at any given time staying in that place for more than 10 days or 10 days, they will pray qasr and they will not fast, because they are not mutawattin. They should remember this. Watan you can have more than one, provided you make a niyyah that this is my watan. But the boy or the girl has come to study. It is not a watan. Watan you can have as many as you want. But if it is not a watan, watan has got a condition where man must have got his properties and must have lived for at least 6 months on end and must have made a niyyah to live there. But coming to London to study for 5 years, 8 years, even 10 years. If he goes from London to Birmingham, from Birmingham he comes to London for 2 days and goes to Peterborough, for those 2 days in London he will pray qasr, and if he is in Ramadan he will not fast. Therefore, must be very careful that watan is the criteria. The mas'ala which was also very important was about remaining in janabat up to morning. If anyone purposely remains in janabat without doing ghusl till subh sadiq, I said this, his roza will be batil. Please let us be careful about it. Anyone who has got janabat ghusl wajib at night has got to be careful that he does his ghusl, her ghusl, before subh sadiq, that is before fajr. And if there is a lady in her period who is becoming clean, then that night she will have to perform her ghusl hayd before fajr. Now there are two things I would like to clarify tonight, the rest inshallah later. One, suppose a lady who intended to have ghusl before fajr woke up right at the time when there is only 2 minutes or 3 minutes left for fajr. Now, she cannot go for ghusl. If she goes for ghusl, the time of fajr will enter. For such a lady who knows for certain that there is no time left now for ghusl, she did not do it purposely, she slept. Sleeping is allowed. She had an intention that she will do ghusl, but she overslept. And as she woke up, she sees the time is about 5 minutes, she cannot take her ghusl. For such a lady, it is wajib to do tayammum badle ghusl. Tayammum in place of ghusl. And having done that, her roza will be sahih and she will pray. Of course, afterwards, in the daytime, anytime, she will do her ghusl before next namaz. And tayammum is a simple procedure which I believe is wajib for me to explain. According to Ayatullah Al-Khui, you don't need anything but sand, dust or stone. These are in priorities, but sand is first priority. And sand is available in England. You can have them from seashores. It is available. That is the first thing. Sand, and we must keep it at home the way we keep watch over water tape. There must be at least one small bag containing sand. God knows when we may need tayammum. Tayammum on sofa set, tayammum on cushions, tayammum on carpet is not permissible, as many people believe that dust particle is enough. According to Ayatullah Al-Khui, it is not enough. It is the last thing. If nothing is available, then sofa set or dust particles accumulated on carpets can be used. Otherwise, there must be sand or dust. It must be dry, not wet, no mud. And once having spread, it is wajib to strike. To strike is wajib. Not only to touch, to strike. With a niyat first, that I am doing it in lieu of, say, ghusl hayd or janabat or whatever. Qurbatan ilallahi ta'ala, and strike. After having struck, then you dust off. And then with this palm, part of the palm, the end of the palm, you begin from where the hair grows. Yeah. Covering your forehead up to the nose tip and up to here. Again I do it. That is enough. Then from the wrist, after having removed all those rings or bangles or whatever you have, from the wrist goes right hand first and then left. And this tayammum is ready. And it is the easiest way of falling within time, because it doesn't take longer. And according to Ayatullah Hui, you don't require a second striking, even if tayammum is